welcome to this episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast, the last episode of 2023. How do you like that? Yes.
I completely forgot. Yeah.
Yes, it's the last episode of 2023. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Thank you guys for joining us. Yep, we are out of Christmas, but not done yet for 2023. One more episode before the new year. Mikey, my friend, how you doing? How was Christmas? How's the holidays treating you? What's up?
I'm doing great. The holidays have been very, very fun so far. Today's the first day where it hasn't just been like constant go, 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 like eating nonstop. We do Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, both days.
Is it just me, or it's just weird how Christmas fell this year? Because it fell like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day was Sunday, Monday, respectively.
Right.
So it was like the weekend was shot.
Yeah.
It's like you can't. I mean, if you're Italian like us, Christmas Eve is usually the big night.
Yes.
So it's like you couldn't do anything Saturday night.
No, because you had to get ready for the big event the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like the weekend was shot.
Right.
Now we're coming out of Christmas, and it's already the middle of the week.
Yeah.
And then there was football going on while Christmas was happening.
Yeah, I didn't much care for the football during Christmas, honestly. I know it seems like it'd be fun, but
it's a strange time to have everything happen, you know?
Yeah. It was a very hectic few days.
Yeah.
But it's all good stuff. We
Right.
had our 7 fishes. We, spent so much time together. Just between the 2 days, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Yeah, it was just a really good time being able to catch up with a lot of family and hanging out and all the good food. I need to I don't know. The food's just nowhere near ending though because there's so many leftovers now. And
It's
so
the end of the year,
yeah. Slowly trying to make your way through everything, but it's just.
I love it. It means the rest of this week I don't have to go grocery shopping.
That's true. No food shopping. You don't have to worry about lunches or dinners. It's just pull out whatever Tupperware container is next up,
Yeah. So I like that part. I like having nothing but leftovers this whole week. So
did you have how was your Christmas? How was your holiday season so far?
Yeah, great. This is the one holiday I think it does work out for for me and Rachel, because it's like Italians, we do the Christmas Eve 7 fishes.
Yeah.
And then her family does Christmas Day. That's like their big thing. So it works out. There's no. Sometimes when you get to the holidays, sometimes you have like overlapping things and it becomes stressful. But like for us, that's pretty much like, the plan. It's just the way it is. So it works out pretty good for us. So that's good. The new thing is we bought Baldur's Gate. So we've been playing Baldur's Gate because that's been reviewed as one of the best games of the year.
I think it won Game of the Year, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And there's a co-op mode on it. So Rachel
local co-op.
Local
right?
co-op, yeah.
Ooh.
Not just network co-op, local co-op.
Nice.
Like I can give Rachel a controller and she can play. So
how does
it's rare. It's rare to see.
It really is. It's tough to find good co-op games. So how is the co-op? Because I know sometimes it's like you're just like a carbon copy of player one, or you're like a sidekick, or you're like tethered together, or is it more like fully featured? Can you both go and do your own things? Like how does it work?
You actually can. You can go off in different directions.
Okay.
But
that's really cool to hear.
But unfortunately in D&D, that's like one of the worst strategies you can employ.
Yeah, because you're splitting your forces.
Yeah, there's safety in numbers. So if you get attacked, it's better to have the whole group together than if you split apart. Then you can't do your full potential of attacking.
Right. That's pretty cool that it allows that much freedom, though.
It does, but I think it's like almost designed as a detriment.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're going to try and do that? Well, you're going to get screwed. Take that.
Have you guys found that out the hard way?
Oh, now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
Yeah, that's what happens. Some guy just jumps and just says that. Yeah.
Did you guys find that out the hard way? You guys were like, oh, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go over here. And then
it's happened a couple times.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So always stick together.
And when it comes to a D&D campaign, always stick together.
Okay.
It's usually never a good strategy to separate.
Yeah, that's definitely been on my list of games to check out. I got Final Fantasy 16 for Christmas. I haven't had a chance to dive into it yet, but I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Nice.
So yeah, so some games to be had.
All right. So there you go. A quick little recap as to Christmas week and everything that we've been up to. But yeah, this is our last episode of 2023. You know, I had the strangest urge. You know, I was trying to go back and kind of a reference to a topic we're going to talk about in Entertainment Entree. But like, I was just kind of going over like the big things that happened, you know, this past year. And, you know, one of the things was Succession coming to an end this year. And
Yeah.
that's always, to me, that's going to go down as one of the best TV shows in history. And, you know, I wanted to go back. So I re-listened to the Succession podcast, you know, went through that. And then I re-listened to like 2 of the episodes that we did where we covered a major thing that happened this season,
Right.
and then the series finale.
Right.
You know, it was just good to kind of remember that and being like, yeah, that happened. Like, you know, that was back April of this year.
Well, it feels like a lifetime
Right.
ago.
It feels like it was forever ago, but it was only like April.
Yeah. Yeah. There have been a lot of big moments this year.
Yeah.
There's
There's that. So like it's funny, like going through like the past episodes of like the Crispy Noodle podcast, I can pinpoint like what happened.
Right.
We had the Eagles going to the Super Bowl.
I was just going to say that was probably one of the biggest things this year was covering a second Super Bowl
yeah.
in our podcast's lifetime,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
You know. So it's fun. It's funny that like we can use this podcast to like kind of go through the topics.
So you
that
were doing
happened.
your own retrospective through
yeah,
the
like vicariously through the podcast, kind of
Yeah.
going through the
we
feeds.
we
and-
try to stay, you know, relevant and timely. So it is a good way to kind of like figure out. Another big thing was the strike.
yeah,
all
the
the-
writer's strike.
All the strike episodes and yeah.
How about the golf? How about PGA versus Live Tour?
Yeah. That was a big headline too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was drama. Vince McMahon selling WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of big things that actually happened this year. It's
Yeah.
been crazy. So we want to thank you guys for joining for the ride, you know, because you guys have supported us this whole way. So thank you very much, and we will continue to give you the news and how we see it as long as we can. So without further ado, how about we get to the sports topic at hand?
Yeah,
How about
let's
that?
dive in.
All right, so let's go forward with the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports.
In your face. Ha ha. Yep, sports coming at you in your face here. And there was an Eagles game on Christmas. That was weird. that's
Yeah.
a weird timing to do football. But the Eagles played against the New York Giants, and they were able to snap their losing streak and pull off a all right victory, I guess is what you could say. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
I mean, once again, it was way closer than it needed to be.
Yeah.
You know, so just like they were up 20-3, and then all of a sudden, they find themselves barely winning. What was it, 20-18 at one point?
Yeah.
And I'm like, for a second there, I'm like, I can't believe this is going to happen again.
Yeah. And both of those scores were stupid. The one was the inexcusable drop where the Eagles ran into each other.
Yeah, that was a fumble, right?
Yeah.
That was the kickoff fumble.
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Second half kickoff fumble.
I know.
This
So it was during Christmas Day.
This
so
was one of those games where every time I popped my head to see what the Eagles did, I caused them to do something stupid. I swear to God, I can tell you every dumb thing that happened in this game, but I can't tell you any of the good things. Every time I went to like go get a plate of food or went to go get a drink or go to the bathroom, the Eagles scored. I can't
Yeah.
tell you how they scored, but I can tell you all the things they messed up on.
I'll tell you, it was because it was during Christmas Day and it was during dinner. I would like every once in a while I'll be like, "What's going on?" And kind of like I walked in every time something crazy had just happened. So like that fumble specifically, I remember walking in and like I knew that we were supposed to get the second half kickoff. I walk in and it's like 14 minutes and 30 seconds You know, like the third quarter had just started, 30 seconds in. And I'm like, how are the Giants on the 10-yard line?
Yep.
I'm like, what? I'm like, what happened?
Only the Eagles can have something like that happen to them.
And I'm like, what is going? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to dinner.
Yeah.
I don't need this in my life. So I barely watched the game. I'll be honest. It seems like the Eagles barely watched the game as well. I mean, they only squeaked by 33-25. The Giants were driving there. I'm like, if the Giants pull off a Seahawks, I'm going to be so upset.
Yeah, they came close.
They came close. And I think the only reason they didn't make it is because they were really slow on that final drive, like lollygagging around, and the one guy caught the ball and was like laying on the ground. Like, you know,
Yeah.
if they had been a little bit more expedient, we weren't really stopping them.
No, the Giants, they were driving, and Tyrod Taylor was lighting it up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tommy Cutlets got benched,
Yes, he did.
which I
That was sad.
I
I
was
wanted to
sad.
see Tommy Cutlets.
yeah, I like the Tommy Cutlets. I don't know. Someone do something with him. There are 32
Wait, what do you mean?
teams.
Do what with him?
There's 32 teams in the NFL. I think someone could use Tommy Cutlets.
Somebody out there is in need of a quarterback.
Yeah. By the end of this season, somebody needs a quarterback, and it should be Tommy Cutlets. Somebody put him to work.
But anyway, enough of Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah.
I mean, we won. We stopped the losing streak. But my biggest concern, I made this point numerous times while we were watching the game. I said this to my cousins. The worst thing that could happen is we win. Because then everybody says problems are fixed. We won. We snapped the losing streak. So
I don't know. I think the way that they won this game, I think everybody is still disappointed.
but what is going to change? Because they won. Changes usually don't get made when you're winning.
Yeah, but they need to figure out how to do. I cannot stand Brian Johnson. Please,
I know. You want him gone.
Please, just take away his play calling or advise him on his play calling. Nick Sirianni. That's what I'm most disappointed with.
But the fact that they
Nick
removed
Sirianni.
Sean Desai and not Brian Johnson.
Yeah,
I've been saying it for a while this season. There are larger systemic issues, and they're not going to get corrected as long as they win games. Like, nothing's going to happen over the course of the next two games. They're not going to fix anything. They're not going to change anything. There's going to be no firings. There's going to be no schematic changes. So we're just going to drag ourselves to the playoffs. And we'll lose in the wild card. We'll probably win the wild card. We'll lose in the divisional round. And then the off season is when we're going to see all the fireworks. We're going to see the scapegoats. We're going to see we got to look at ourselves in the mirror kind of conversations. Because there's nothing's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. It's impossible to fix it. And I think the team knows it. And that's why they're so frustrated. That's why more and more we're hearing stories of players yelling at coaches and coaches yelling at coaches and coaches yelling at players. It's not really the sign of a team. Like an 11-4 team should not be acting the way that we're acting.
yeah,
Right? And like everybody early in the season, we brought it up a few times, like Jason Kelsey getting in Sirianni's face. And like A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts yelling at each other. Everybody's like, they're competitive. And I'm like, I don't know. We've never really seen that with this team before. Like, if they were that competitive, we would have seen it last year when they were winning, too.
Yeah, we didn't see that.
So what's the difference? And here you go, Devontae Smith after the game. He says, quote, 11 wins. We're not playing good football right now. As an offense, we're not where we want to be. I'm not satisfied. Yeah, we got 11 wins. I'm not happy. It needs to be better for what I want to do, what everybody else in here wants to do, where we want to be. We're nowhere near that. So, no, I'm not happy. That's after winning a game against a division rival on Christmas on an 11-win team.
Yeah, it's pretty downer.
A.J. Brown didn't even talk to the media.
Yeah, he skipped the conference.
They saw Devontae Smith and Hassan Reddick arguing with Sirianni on the sideline during the game, not really inspiring confidence in the Eagles going into the final few weeks.
No.
I mean, what's your read on the situation? Am I being too much of a downer here post-Christmas?
No, because a team like the New York Giants, they should have had this game wrapped up in the second half. And instead, they let the Giants come back with dumb penalties, dumb mistakes, dumb turnovers.
Yep.
I mean,
we only
another
lost one of our 4 fumbles, but you shouldn't be dropping the ball that much.
Yeah. How about a pick 6?
Yeah,
That was embarrassing.
That was bad.
Like, that's not what a good team does. A team that wins the Super Bowl doesn't make stupid mistakes like that.
Yeah.
They just don't. That's the thing that kills a team in the playoffs. I mean, what Devonta Smith said, we got 11 wins, but not happy. That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
This might be the worst 11-4 team ever.
I keep seeing quotes and rumors and insider sources popping up saying, like, everybody's miserable in the building, and the Eagles brass is concerned about Jalen Hurts' leadership abilities when they're losing, and all these little tiny things, and people are quick to write them off. But where there's this many little tiny puffs of smoke, like, there's something burning there, right?
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of fire.
There has to be.
Yeah. So the good news is that they do have 2 quote-unquote easy opponents to finish up the season with. We'll see how easy they are in week 17 and 18 coming up. But they got to still win these games. They fall to the wild card spot, and I think that is a very awkward offseason coming up. There's going to be some firings and stuff like that if the Eagles fall to wild card. Because a roster that talented should not be settling for a wild card spot.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most frustrating things is that we are so talented on, both sides of the ball, secondary notwithstanding, that, and I don't think anybody expected them to be like 17-0 or 16-1. Like, I had them pegged around 12, 13 wins.
Well, Jake Tapper had him 16-1. Remember that?
I do remember that. But yeah, I had them pegged around like 13-ish wins, 12, 13 wins. So the record isn't shocking. What's shocking, I think, is the way that we got there.
Yeah.
Like if we had lost close games or like, we ran out of time or, 1 or 2 things here and there, but it's the same issues week in and week out. And I think that's the thing that's the most concerning is like, I never mind a loss so long as I feel like it was because we just, had certain things break the wrong way. But we're like handing teams games because we're playing really boneheaded football.
Yeah.
Like when we shouldn't be.
Yeah. Running into your own guy and fumbling the ball.
Yeah,
fumbling the ball, yeah.
So ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, that was like a cartoon.
It's like, and the offense is like a high school offense. Like, they're not even, I mean, I know they're trying, but it feels like they're not. It feels like they're like imitating an NFL offense.
Yeah. I mean, they don't do any motion before the snap.
No motion. They don't have any plays from under center unless it's a run, and defenses know it.
Multiple times in this game, they started 1st and 10 with nobody in the backfield.
Like you're not even pretending.
Yeah. Like, really? We're just going to telegraph to the other team it's a pass play? Like, come on.
Not to mention hard, like, play action fakes from under center are a great way to freeze defenses. We don't even try to do play action fakes. It's all RPO stuff. But the teams have figured it. They've cracked the code. Because they know Jalen Hurts isn't going to threaten on the ground. And they know that if they take away that first read, he's going to try and pull it and run.
Yeah,
we've become too predictable, too vanilla. We don't use motion. We don't play from under center. We don't use play action. We don't spread the ball around. This is the first time in like weeks that somebody other than AJ Brown and Devontae Smith was targeted in the passing game. I just don't know. And it's not just one person's fault. It's not Brian Johnson's fault. It's not Jalen Hurts' fault. It's not Nick Sirianni's fault. It's everybody's fault from top to bottom.
Yeah, but I really do think that Nick Sirianni could be helping out better.
He needs to take away play calling or bring in an offensive consultant or something to light a fire.
Yeah, because that's what I can't forgive.
Isn't what's his name, Frank Reich, sitting out there?
Yeah,
he's munching on Fritos, watching football on TV.
He's getting paid to sit on his couch from both the Panthers and the Colts this season.
Dude, just be like, hey, why don't you come into town, hang out? Oh, by the way, can you check out this playbook and let me know what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Like, just make it a casual thing.
Do you know any other plays besides a screen?
Just call up, be like, hey, curious. Let's just say, hypothetically, it's like 3rd and 8. Hypothetically.
What should I do?
And it's like you're on the 50-yard line, and hypothetically, you don't even need to make it that official. You know?
Yeah.
Just anything. I don't know. Pull 3rd graders. I don't know. Like, God.
Yeah, it's been very frustrating. For them being an 11-win team, it's been very frustrating.
I don't get it. I mean, I
Yeah.
get it, but I don't get it.
Yep. So, trying to look forward into the future, let's get to our segment with some NFL picks with our fantastic 4 picks for week number 17 of the NFL season. There we go. What do we have on deck?
All right, first up, we have an NFC playoff preview. 2 of the top teams in the NFC facing off against each other. It's the Detroit Lions traveling to Dallas to face off against the Cowboys. This is a Saturday primetime game. Rich, who do you like in this one? Do the Lions hold on to that 2 seed, or do they fall to the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, this is really going to be interesting. This might shake up the NFC playoff rankings and the seeding. And I know that for the Eagles, if they still want to hold out hope to get the number 1 seed, they actually need Dallas to beat the Lions so that the Eagles can move ahead on the standings ahead of the Lions. But you know what? I like the way this Lions team is playing. You know, Jared Goff is having a renaissance. He's having a fantastic season. That offense is rolling. The defense is biting those kneecaps, as Campbell wants. And the Cowboys have looked sluggish ever since they beat the Eagles. I think they've lost 2 games now. They've lost back to back.
Yep.
They've been pretty much run on the Cowboys. That's how you beat the Cowboys. Get Dak to stay on the sidelines, control the time of possession, and don't make stupid mistakes and don't turn the ball over. It's really just those 3 things stop the Cowboys.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. The Lions have the 3rd best rushing attack in the league. So I'm assuming you're going with the Lions here.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling the same way. If they can use those running backs to control the game, they actually have a very good offense. I think they can keep pace with the Cowboys. That defense, on paper, Dallas is better, but they've shown that they're vulnerable, not just through the ground game, but Miami got a lot of passing first downs on them as well. Smart football can defeat the Dallas Cowboys. They are far from invincible. I like the Lions.
Yeah.
They're having a really good feel-good season. Again, strong ground game. That's all the Buffalo Bills did. I mean, I think Josh Allen completed like 1 pass? Something stupidly low.
He only had like 120 passing yards in that game.
Yeah.
It was all running.
Yeah, so lean on those running backs. Get the job done. I know we should want Dallas to win, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Nope. Going Lions.
Yep, agreed. Next up, we have an AFC playoff preview. The Miami Dolphins travel to Baltimore. This is a Sunday 1 o'clock game.
Why has this not been flexed?
I have no idea. I don't understand why certain games are flexed versus others.
Yeah.
But this one definitely should have been. This is definitely, I mean, probably the 2 best teams in the AFC. Do the Baltimore Ravens continue their push for an MVP season for Lamar Jackson, push for the number 1 seed? What do you think? Who wins this one?
Yeah, I mean, I really love Baltimore right now. Lamar Jackson has been having an FU season. Everyone forgot this offseason, he was threatening to leave Baltimore.
Yeah.
He talked to other teams and said, hey, maybe I come play for you guys. And he had, 2-3 teams say, no, we're not going to pay you. No, And then he went back to Baltimore and signed a bigger contract to go back to the team. And I think he got fueled by that. I think he was very upset that he wasn't seen as an elite quarterback. And he's been having an FU season. He's got motivation. He wants to show that he's worthy of being in the elite conversation and worthy of a big-time contract. And the defense has been there to back him up. The Ravens have been shutting offenses down on the other side of the ball. I mean, they really got the 49ers to come to a complete standstill last night. So I'm going to go with the Ravens. Ravens, I think they have the complete package. Great defense, really good quarterback, solid run game. Dolphins, I don't know if they've got it all together yet.
Oh man, you know that I've been big on the Dolphins and not as big on the Baltimore Ravens this year, but I have to admit I did watch part of that game where they dismantled the 49ers. They were the first team this year to really make the 49ers look pedestrian. I mean, Brock Purdy, what was it, 4 picks?
4 picks. Everybody was like, oh, he's the MVP. Nope.
And the
not
Baltimore
anymore.
Ravens just shut that conversation right down. I think that the Dolphins deserve a little bit more credit, though. They've been playing very impressive football. Their defense is nothing to scoff at either, but Baltimore is just, I think, a better team than them right now, and they're going to be comfortable at home. I just really dislike the Baltimore Ravens, but I gotta go with the home team here. I think that they'll pull it off, but I think the Miami Dolphins are going to keep it closer than people might expect. I think the Dolphins, they're a very, very good team. I don't think people give them the recognition this year with the conversation of the 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. The Dolphins are going to be there in the end. So they're going to have to contend with them again at some point. But I'm still going with Ravens for now.
All right.
Next up, we have a division rivalry and a wild card race. Both these teams struggling to stay relevant in the NFC. The Green Bay Packers are traveling to Minnesota to face off against the Vikings. 2 middling teams, but both with some real chances of making the wild card. Rich, who do you like in this one? This is a tough one.
Yeah, Packers at Vikings. Both of these teams have had moments of brilliance and moments of disappointment. I think you have to give the slight edge here to the home team going for the Vikings. Their defense seems to be a little bit more stout than the Packers. And the Vikings just seem to be rolling with the punches. Doesn't matter who's the quarterback. They just seem to have that next guy up attitude, to keep moving forward. Whereas the Packers, they had a couple of good wins, but then they blew it the following week afterwards. They don't seem to have an even keel with Jordan Love yet. So I'm going to put them further down on the list and say that they need another year to get Jordan Love to really get acclimated. I think it's the Vikings game to take on Sunday night.
Yeah, this is a really tough one. I think the Vikings have a better roster, but the question mark, of course, is quarterback with the Vikings. I don't know why, but I feel it doesn't make any sense, but my gut is saying Packers. My gut has been wrong a lot this year. The Vikings have a pretty bad home record. They've only won 2 games at home. So I don't know that the home edge gives them much. I know they have a better team on paper, just in terms of skills positions and things, but that quarterback position being a big question mark, that's bothersome. So I'm going Packers here.
All right.
I can't explain why, but it's just a feeling. I feel like it's going to be wrong, but I'm going to go with it anyway.
That's weird. That's New Year's Eve. So they might be,
Oh, yes, it is.
They might be playing until the New Year strikes.
Wow, that'd be fun, right? Like first point scored in the new year. If
Yeah.
it goes to overtime.
Right.
Make it happen. Make it happen,
weird.
Green Bay and Vikings.
That's weird.
I completely missed that. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, that's a Sunday prime time if you're at a New Year's Eve party.
Yeah.
Taking
Weird.
some football.
Weird.
But earlier that day, though, hopefully it doesn't put a damper on your celebrations, because the Philadelphia Eagles are playing host to the Arizona Cardinals at 1 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Rich, who do you like in this game?
I'll say the same thing as I did last week. Eagles will win, but they don't cover.
Yeah, I mean, the spread is stupid. It's like 11 points. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
I don't
like that.
I don't know why the bookies are like, oh, yeah, the Eagles will definitely blow out their opponents. When? Since when? Point to the game. Tell me when. The only
Yeah.
time they've gotten blown out, it's been in reverse. They've been losing by double digits.
I think the most they ever won was against the Dolphins.
Yeah, that was like more than 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Have they not been watching any games?
Well, it's up to the public. The public moves the points, and they've been ticking that up more and more and more. So, yeah, I think the point spread's right now at 11 or so. So, I don't know. I think that's double digits is too much for an NFL game.
Too much. We only beat the Giants by 8.
Yeah.
The Giants.
Yeah.
And they were playing Tommy Cutlets and the other guy.
Tyrod Taylor.
Kyler Murray, we're not going to be able to contain him. I mean, we'll win, sure.
Well,
But
somehow. There's going to be a throw that bounces off someone's butt.
Yeah. The refs will be like, we forgot the Eagles scored another 7 points. There you go. They win. Like it's going to be something dumb, but we're going to win, but they won't cover. So bet against them.
So, yeah, I say Eagles win but don't cover. And I think you're in agreement with that.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so there you go. That is our Fantastic Four picks for Week 17 of the NFL season. Yeah, there you go. It used to be the end of the season, but now there's Week 18 in the NFL, so we're no longer at the end. This is the penultimate week of the season, if you will.
Yes.
Always love to keep that word in the back of my pocket. Don't forget about that. All right, now let's get into the segment where we're going to hit a topic in 3 minutes or less. It's time for the 3-minute drill. Do you have a topic armed?
Let's do it.
All right, clock is armed. There we go. 3 minutes. What's the topic?
All right, this week in the 3-minute drill, we got one big topic, and that's the LA Dodgers trying to buy Major League Baseball. OMG. Maybe that's a little hyperbolic.
They're not buying the league. They're buying a world. They're trying to buy a World Series. That's
damn
what they're
near
trying
close
to
to it. They've spent $1 billion with a B on 2 players. So they might not be buying the league, but hyperbolically speaking, they're trying to.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Yes.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Very good, Mike.
Say that 3 times fast. For $1 billion, 2 players. More than that, signing Yamamoto also required the Dodgers to make a separate $50 million payment to the Oryx Buffaloes, Yamamoto's team in Japan, as kind of a penalty or a mea culpa for poaching him, basically.
Yep.
This is insane, though. I mean, we're looking at close to $1.1 billion on 2 guys.
Yep. And the Dodgers don't care. They do not give a F.
They're really testing the whole quote-unquote buying a championship concept. What do you think? Do you think it's even possible? Like, if they just buy enough players?
Sure, why not?
I mean, this is going to be the proof, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no salary cap. The Dodgers are just pushing it to the limit. Why not? They're the number 1 market. Other than New York, you've got LA as a huge market.
Yeah.
They're going to rake in so much money. Imagine what the tickets for these games are going to cost.
Oh, it's going to be absurd. It's going to be like football ticket prices.
They're gonna rake in so much money off of the tickets, the merchandise, the food. Every game for the Dodgers is going to be must see because of these 2 guys.
Yeah.
It's going to pay for itself. They're just going to print money.
Yeah.
And so why not? Who cares if it's $1 billion? Go ahead.
So, do you think this furthers the issue with a lack of a salary cap, or do you think that, say the LA Dodgers win, do the other owners try to force a situation in which they enforce the salary cap?
I think there needs to be a serious conversation down the line. I mean, I know.
How do teams in Florida even compete?
Yeah.
How about Ohio?
Ohtani's contract, his average yearly contract of what he gets paid, on the average, is going to be larger than 6 MLB teams.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's
I wrote it as a joke about them buying the MLB, but just do it. Just go buy the other 6 teams.
Yeah.
Just eliminate your competition that way.
Yeah, pay them to not win.
What's stopping the owner from making a shell company and buying those teams or just outright tanking them?
At this rate, why not? If you got $1 billion
just
to
do
throw
it.
around.
Just do it.
The $50 million payment to the Buffaloes.
That's a penalty.
Sure,
Hey,
why not?
Why not?
Treating it like it's just like a little tax on their fun money.
You look like the piss boy.
There you go, and that's the conclusion.
I'd buy that for $1.
Or $1 billion.
That's the sound clip I meant to play. Played the piss boy one.
I was like, sure, I guess.
Whoops.
I don't know who the piss boy is in this situation, but one of them's the piss boy.
You look like the piss boy.
Are you the Tampa Bay Rays? Yeah, you look like my piss boy.
You look like the piss boy.
Honestly, I wonder if it would be possible for.
Are you the Kansas City Royals?
Why? Did you mean to play that? No, you didn't. He did not at all.
No, and then the scream that usually comes at the end of the clip doesn't come. Everybody's drunk, apparently, on my soundboard.
Apparently.
The Full Metal Jacket clip came way too late. The piss boy showed up.
Somebody's just screaming.
Yeah, I was trying to play the dollar clip. Everybody's drunk. Welcome to the holidays.
The soundboard got into the holiday booze is what it was.
Yeah, apparently. So
too much eggnog.
Right. So go figure.
Oh boy.
All right. Hopefully that's the last of the technical difficulties with the soundboard, because we still have half of the show left. You know,
Yes.
we're gonna have the entertainment entree and the non-fortune cookie odd news. If the soundboard goes haywire during those two segments, I don't know how we're gonna finish the show. So stick around. Let's
Find
see.
out.
Yeah, find out. We don't know how the show's gonna end, but we do know that we will have the entertainment entree and the non-fortune cookie odd news to provide you when we come back from the break. Don't go anywhere. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
The taste of French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There's a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. Paul Masson's superb taste shouldn't be too surprising. This champagne doesn't come from France, but it was created by a man who did, Paul Masson. Paul Masson will sell no wine before it's time.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. I think the soundboard has been drinking because it played an Orson Welles clip now. Why not?
Well, the soundboard and Orson Welles got together, tried some of that Paul Masson.
Yeah. That lovely Paul Masson, California champagne.
We'll have no wine before it's time.
That's right. or no wine until it's time to get drunk with the soundboard, because that's the only time it's appropriate.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
I think I need to put that clip with a picture of Orson Welles and just put, like, whenever we have technical difficulties,
Just
that should
put
be
that up, yeah.
Yeah, that should be the please stand by. Crispy Noodle Podcast is having
Instead
technical
of like the
difficulties.
elevator muzak where it's just like do 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 do
Yeah.
do, you know, like please stand by. It's just that
It's Orson Welles
on loop.
Yeah, just put that over.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
I actually just want the.
That's it. Just that. I just love that. When that
We'll
that-
be back. Podcast is drunk.
Yeah, podcast is drunk. But that third take when he does the is I love in the video of it. He's like rubbing his forehead like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, he's definitely having like the worst day ever.
Yeah.
But you never play the part of it at the very beginning where
Well, because it doesn't translate on an audio
right,
podcast.
exactly.
But
So everybody has to go look it up. But the very first take is the director says action, and he just sits there
he just
for
stares.
for like 2 full silent seconds, and then he goes, he doesn't say anything, and point to the other guy.
Yeah, the other actor. Yeah, he's like, he doesn't do anything.
So good.
Yeah.
But anyway.
The greatest director alive. He can't do a commercial.
Apparently.
Yeah. There you go. I love Orson Welles.
I know you do.
Love my Orson Welles.
But speaking of entertainment,
celebrities and actors and stuff like that, it is time for the segment where we have movie and TV news and video game news in the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, entertainment entree time. We do not have any mics this week in entertainment because it was the holidays. It was Christmas. Nothing new really came out. So let's move right into some topics. And we got some somewhat breaking news. I mean, this kind of happened just before we were about to, get the ball rolling and start the podcast.
Yep.
Mike, what is happening?
Yeah, so right before we started recording, I got some somewhat frustrating news about the world of streaming television. It's about to get a lot more irritating to watch your favorite streaming services. Amazon officially marking the death of ad-free streaming as they will start injecting ads into Amazon Prime Video starting at the end of January.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Yeah, so in addition to the $139 you pay yearly for Prime, you will now have to pay an extra $3 a month to keep the experience ad-free for Prime Videos as well. So if you do the math, what is that? That's
$36.
almost $36 to added to $139. You're looking at close to $180 a year.
You represent what I detest. You're a punk walking in the back door with your hand open, looking for a free lick.
You're looking for a free lick.
Me? I am.
You.
I'm paying $140 already. I shouldn't be seeing ads at all.
You're looking for a free lick.
I am looking for a free lick. No, it's just super frustrating because this now marks the fact that all 5 of the largest streaming services in the U.S. now show ads in some form or another. So Max, Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount, Amazon Prime. I think Hulu also has an ad tier.
Yeah, Hulu definitely does.
I can't think of. I don't think there's any streaming service that doesn't have ads. Off the top of my head,
or they have a tier for it.
Right. It either shows ads or you have to pay to remove them. Pay extra to remove them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. The question always comes up: like, is the streaming model dead? Do we just go back to cable? I don't think that's a realistic possibility. What do you think?
No, I hate to say it, but I think the streaming companies have got you right where they want you. You know?
Yeah, nobody's. I mean, we complain all the time about Netflix. When are you canceling?
Until I can find a way to sail the high seas.
Yeah.
That's going to be the end result. Is the more that these streaming companies keep pushing people to pay more and to subject themselves more to ads and introduce more annoying features and trying to geolocate them. It's going to get to a breaking point.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, you know what? I'll take my chances sailing the high seas.
I worry that, one, they know that people are going to pay whatever because we've become so accustomed to it. You go on your TV, your smart TV. All TVs are smart TVs. You hit your little Netflix button. Takes you right to your profile. It tells you exactly what you want to watch because of the algorithm. And you've got all your old favorites. You got all your new favorites. And they know that it's just so convenient, so easy. For the vast majority of people, I'm talking like 90+% of people, sailing the high seas is not a realistic possibility, And it's just super frustrating. What I worry about is if people start canceling to go back to cable, that I wonder if the streamers try to come up with a more insidious way of getting people on board, like, I don't know, like a la carte pricing. Oh, only pay for what you want to watch. And you have to pay like 99 cents per show, like the iTunes days. I almost feel like it's going to like revert and go back to that. And then you end up paying even more, but you don't realize it because it's 99 cents at a time.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. You're going to be spending that money very fast.
I felt like streaming was supposed to be the holy grail for consumers, but it ended up being like the worst thing in the world.
Cable is still
Like,
the worst thing.
Netflix, I don't know.
No. Cable is still the weirdest thing. My mom, she recently, I don't know, she had a weird renewal with her cable company, and they screwed her on whatever package she got.
They always do.
Like, cable is still the worst. I still would rather go streaming than cable.
I don't know, man. It's becoming kind of dicey there. I mean, I'm never going to switch off my streaming services. I have all of them. I'm the last person to complain about them. But it's just so frustrating because they have us right where they want us.
Yeah. It's
all we can do is lament.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
No, it's not. So, get ready to pay an extra $3 a month. You all will. I know you will.
I know you.
No, I mean, who's going to not pay it? You're going to pay it.
Mikey is looking at everybody.
I'm looking at you too. You're going to pay it. Everybody's going to pay it. I'm going to pay it. You're going to pay it. They're going to pay it. Amazon knows it.
The Prime or the ad-free tier?
The ad-free tier.
I don't know about the ad-free tier. I'm not going to get rid of my Prime because that's also, I love being able to order on Amazon and getting it like next day.
The delivery stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to get rid of Prime. I don't know if I'm going to do the ad-free tier.
How many shows do you watch on Prime? Actually, because
a handful.
Yeah.
Like I like Upload.
Upload's good. I like Upload.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other one that I started to watch. That's really good. But there's like maybe like 2 or 3, 4 at the most. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to
it.
get the ad-free tier. No, but I'm not going to give up the Amazon Prime. I need that for
what
deliveries.
Streaming service would you drop to the ad tier if push came to shove?
Probably Hulu. I don't really use Hulu too much.
Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, that's
is
really
the one
it.
that I can think of.
And Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah. I mean, and that not even for me. It's really just only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
And like
most of my shows are Max and Netflix.
I watch a lot of Disney for like the Mandalorian.
Oh, and Disney too. Yeah, Star Wars.
Mandalorian, Ahsoka, the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my two biggest streaming services would probably be probably Disney and Max.
Yeah.
I'm on a lot. Apple TV Plus is actually one of the cheaper ones, and 2 has a lot of good shows that nobody ever recognizes because of Apple.
Yeah, sorry, Apple. Yeah, they're not getting my money. Anyway,
they have really good shows that you would like. I'm just saying,
I know.
You're missing out.
I know.
Well,
Well,
speaking of
missing out, we had this topic in our back pocket for a couple weeks, and we figured now during the holidays, people got time off. This might be a very important segment if you've got time off and you're looking for a show to watch. That is because Ranker.com has listed, quote, the best binge-worthy shows of all time.
Yep.
Was there a definition to binge-worthy? Because, I don't know. Is that like worded specifically for a reason? Because they're not. I assume they're not saying these are the best TV shows. Then they're saying what are the best binge-worthy shows? What are the shows you can start episode 1 and just grab a whole tin of popcorn and just start going to town on?
Yeah, let me try to find that real quick. So they polled 1.5 million people. They had 1.5 million votes. I don't.
Oh, good for you.
There you go. Christian Bale wanted to chime in.
So it says voting rules. Vote on the TV shows that work best when watched in a marathon.
Oh, okay.
Thanks to both their pacing and their quality.
Okay, so
this
start,
is 1.5 million votes, 120,000 plus voters.
So you have to start episode 1 and move forward.
In a marathon, right. So you're not watching it week to week. You're sitting down, you're watching chunks of show at a time. I think shows that lend themselves to that kind of viewing.
Okay.
Which, this is why I thought this might be an interesting topic, because some of these shows I get, and some of these shows I don't get. So let's talk through some of these top shows, some of the ones we've seen, some of the ones we haven't seen, some of the ones that we need to see.
Yeah.
Do we just want to go over, just to get things, give a good frame of reference, maybe like the top 10?
Yeah.
And talk about those shows.
Let's go.
Let's start with the big daddy, the granddaddy of them all. Probably one of the hottest shows on television the past decade, Game of Thrones, #1 most binge-worthy show, according to voters. I can speak to that because I watched all of it. I think that Game of Thrones lends itself well to binge watching because of the just insane amount of storylines and characters and place names. When I started watching the show, I benefited immensely from the fact that I started when they were just wrapping up season 4. So I would sit down and watch like 3 or 4 episodes a night. And so I didn't have to wait week to week and forget, wait, is that Ed Stark or Ned Stark or Ted Stark or Ben Stark or all the different Starks, all the different Lannisters? I could keep track of them because I was seeing them so frequently and I was watching their plot lines develop over a couple of hours instead of a couple of weeks. So I think that it lended itself well to binge watching early on in the series. The controversy, of course, comes in season 7 and 8, where the quality really dips. I still think that overall it's a really good binge-worthy show, but that, unfortunately, the ending doesn't hold up to scrutiny. But if taken as a whole, it's a very, very good show. And I think better when binged rather than week to week.
Okay, there you go. I didn't get a chance. I still haven't watched it. I'm sorry.
Would that be one of the ones that you need to watch? Do you think you feel the need to watch Game of Thrones?
No.
The #1 most binge-worthy show of all time.
Nope.
I'm never gonna get him to watch it.
Nope. Sorry. Yeah,
That's
I don't
okay.
know. At this point, it's too much. I can't get to it.
Yeah. Well, there's some shows on here that I definitely probably won't be watching. But one that we both did watch, Stranger Things #2.
Yeah.
What do you
Stranger
think? Do you think
Things-
that lends itself to binge watching?
Sure, but the problem with that is it's still going on. It's not finished yet.
Yeah, that's my major problem with Stranger Things is that it's
up at 2.
It's not done.
Yeah, it's not done yet. I think you got to see how it ends before you can put it in the heavyweight territory.
I think my 2 problems are it's not done, and especially in season 4, you have like 2-hour episodes. That's not.
well, wait till you get to Sherlock at 5.
Yeah, well, jumping around a bit, but Sherlock at 5, I have not seen it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it is a great take on the Sherlock murder mystery stories, and the British actors in that are all A tier. Benedict Cumberbatch, Andrew Scott is a great Moriarty, but every episode is like 2 hours long. I'm really surprised that's listed as binge worthy.
Yeah. Do you
They're
consider?
movies.
Do you consider?
Can I binge? Shouldn't movies count then? If we're gonna go best binge worthy, and we have Sherlock on there, every episode is 2 hours long.
I feel like shows like Stranger Things season 4 and Sherlock really stretch the definition of what a TV show is. A TV show to me is something you can sit down and watch in a short amount of time, not where you have to like go to a theater to watch it. Like anything that's over an hour and a half, that's not a TV show. That's just a movie.
Well, yeah, it should be episodic.
Yeah.
They're cramming all these things into a 2-hour block.
So do you have an issue with Sherlock being on this list at all then, it sounds like?
I mean, I just think they're really using...
Can you binge watch a show where episodes take 2 hours?
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
to watch 3 episodes...
By that logic, shouldn't movies be on this list then? Like, you're really stretching the definition of what a TV show is.
So no Sherlock.
I would just that's one of those you're really pushing, especially since this is supposed to be best binge-worthy TV shows.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would put Sherlock on, like, because like an episode is like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's like you're done after.
That's it.
Yeah.
You watch one episode. There's
Yeah.
no binging.
And
maybe 2.
And same thing with Stranger Things.
Especially
those
season 4.
Those 2 episodes where they're like an hour and a half long. You're like, oh my god.
I had to take a break.
Ooh.
I'm like this is too long for a TV show.
Yeah.
But
in terms of this result, I'm really surprised.
Yes.
They should not be on the list.
As was I. One of the shows that I was surprised, I mean, it's high, but I'm surprised it's 3rd, Breaking Bad.
No, Breaking Bad is a great binge-worthy TV show, and
that's how I watched it.
And I did too. I got sick. I think it was my senior year of college, and I had a really bad stomach flu, and Breaking Bad 5 seasons. I binge watched like 1 season a day. It was perfect.
Yeah, I
will agree that is a great binge-worthy TV show.
I started watching it before the final season came out, and I think the reason why it's so binge-worthy is because every single episode does a really good job of leaving you wondering, oh my God, what happens next? Like, you just want to watch more because there's that itch in the back of your mind. You're like, I need to know. I will say, though, and this is an interesting little wrinkle here. Do you ever struggle with binging certain shows because of, we touched on Sherlock, but subject matter? Because my fiance Jordan, we basically stalled out in the middle of season 3 of Breaking Bad because the subject matter is not, she doesn't like it. She doesn't like the drug use. She doesn't like the murder. It's upsetting. So it kind of kills the binge. Do you think there's certain shows that are almost better watched week to week because it allows you to get through it?
That's interesting. I think there might be an angle to that. Yeah,
because I think didn't Rachel also have the same issue with? I know JB's wife had an issue with watching Breaking Bad.
Well, Rachel
binge style.
Rachel, I don't think would like any drug stories, so I don't think
in general.
Yeah, but I could see like if a topic really is like really too heavy, I don't know if you want to binge watch it.
Because there's another show on this list where we had the same issue as well, which I'll get to.
I was gonna try and take it.
It's in the top 10.
What, Sopranos?
Yeah, Sopranos. We stalled out because it was too much. It was too much murder, too much tension.
I mean, Sopranos is one of those shows I could put on a whole.
Oh, I loved The Sopranos. I finally watched.
Put on a big, pot of pasta.
Oh yeah,
and get sauce going. Oh,
I literally did that one weekend. I went and I got the little pack of prosciutto. Like not like the deli one, but like the pre-sliced one in the little vacuum pack.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there eating prosciutto and provolone.
Gabagool. Yeah. You can. Yeah. No, I disagree. Sopranos, you could binge watch.
I agree. Sopranos at 7, I could binge watch it, but again, that whole thing with struggling to binge watch shows, I know Jordan really struggled to get through it just because of the subject matter. Sometimes. So I don't know. Some of these shows I'm torn on. Like Breaking Bad, I think is super binge-worthy, but I also think that there's an asterisk on there because I know several people who just cannot watch more than 2 episodes in a row. It's too much for them. I have no problem because I'm a psychopath. Because I'm like, yeah. Well, let's watch 4 episodes of The Sopranos.
Well, you know what else might be in one of those categories would be Sons of Anarchy. I love Sons of Anarchy, but I guess
Sons of Anarchy at 10. Yeah, I've not seen it.
I guess if you don't like drug use or outlaw culture, then yeah, you won't be able to watch Sons of Anarchy then.
Well, give me your pitch for Sons of Anarchy, like I gave everyone a pitch for Game of Thrones.
great characters. It's literally Hamlet on motorcycles. I don't know if
Hamlet on motorcycles.
If I can't convince you at Hamlet on motorcycles, I'm sorry. Then you're not meant for this show.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy is one I've always heard you talk about. I've heard people mention it. I just, for some reason, like the whole biker angle, just didn't really. It's not really a genre that I'm like, oh, I definitely need to check this out. You know, there's other shows on this list that I haven't seen that are higher on that I got to get to the show list kind of thing.
Yeah, I love Sons of Anarchy. I would definitely vouch for it.
Yeah, definitely throwing that into the ring. What about, let's finish up the top 10 here. Number 4, The Office, classic. I put that on, or used to put that on in the background so much. Falling asleep, doing work, just, you know, you're busy doing something else. You just want something on in the background. I would throw up The Office on the old Netflix. Then it switched to Peacock. Now Peacock is, you have to pay for it, so I don't watch The Office anymore. But I think half-hour comedies are great for binging.
Yeah, that would be another unfair advantage. If we're really going to say the word binge-worthy, if this is like the list, yeah, I would think like a half-hour sitcom comedy would be, they would have advantage on this.
I'm surprised. I think it's so weird that The Office is 4 and Stranger Things is 2. Like, I don't know why Stranger Things being that high bothers me so much.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
The Office, though, I mean, that was probably the first show I ever actually binged. In college, freshman year, I hadn't started watching The Office. Somebody had the DVD set because we're elderly. The DVD set of, I think it was...
You already sound so old saying you had the DVD.
I don't know, but he had the DVD set of, I think it was season 3, and we literally skipped class and watched all, like, 22 episodes in one day on our, like, 15-inch tube TV with the DVD player built in.
Yeah.
And that was the first ever binging of a TV show I ever did, was The Office. So super binge-worthy, I think.
All right, here's a good question.
Okay.
What is the first media entity that you've ever binged?
I think it was The Office.
But could it be movies?
Oh. No, I don't think I've binged movies. I think growing up, my parents were like, watch Star Wars, or like watch Jurassic Park, or watch The Godfather. Not like sit down and watch all 3 Godfather. You know, I don't think I had.
Because I've had.
What about you?
Yeah, like I remember as a kid.
Was your first binging experience Star Wars?
Yeah,
probably.
I remember days where I would grab the original trilogy set, and I would put in A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and I just go one after another.
Yeah.
Does that count as binging? It's not TV, but it's movies.
I mean, I guess if you want to broaden it to binging entertainment properties, I mean that's definitely a binge. I mean, I've definitely done full Lord of the Rings watch throughs of the DVDs. You know,
I've done Bond movie
Star Wars. Yeah,
like I would watch like GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, World Is Not Enough.
I know people do Harry Potter all the time.
Yeah, does that count?
I mean, yeah, I think that counts. There's no list of it, but I mean,
No.
sure. It's like, yeah, if you want to binge. So your first entertainment binge was Star Wars.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's the earliest one I can remember. That like
I don't remember ever binging.
That like I planned out. I'm gonna watch the original trilogy today. I'm gonna just go. You know, I was like 8 or something. I was like, I'm gonna watch Star Wars.
Actually, no. My first binge was another item on this list. I'm going all the way down to 17. Band of Brothers from HBO. We got the VHSs.
You're talking about. Oh no! You actually got
VHSs of
you're
Band
talking a long time ago.
Yeah, wow. A long time ago. Yeah, because it came out on HBO. We didn't have HBO when I was young, so we had to go to the local video store.
Wow!
Not Blockbuster. Go to the local video store. A to Z Video from anybody from the Ambler area. Band of Brother VHSs, and we'd get like I forget how many at a time, and we would watch through like it was like 3 or 4. Of the VHSs, not in like a day, but like over the course of a week, watch like 4 episodes instead of 1 a week for 10 weeks.
So you were binging before it was a thing.
As best I could.
Wow.
That's
all right.
you asked for the earliest. That's the earliest that I can remember.
All right.
Is Band of Brothers on VHS. It takes a lot of effort to binge watch on VHS.
Yes.
For anybody out there that doesn't remember VHS, you can only get like 2 hours on a tape.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're swapping physical media every 2 hours. You can't put in a DVD and watch 20 episodes. You can't turn on Netflix and just lay there like a slug and let it go on repeat.
There's some physical activity.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. All right, there you go.
Yeah,
all
Band of Brothers, 17.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, so we're just jumping all around the list, but I thought it was an interesting thing to talk about. Real quick, Rich, just in your perusal of the list, is there any show on here that you personally recommend to people to binge? Can be on the list, off the list, something to recommend, and also something that you yourself need to hold yourself to binging in the future.
Yeah, like I'm surprised Succession's not. I mean, I don't know when this. Maybe.
It was December. So Succession has been over.
I don't know.
They don't think it's binge-worthy.
Why the hell is that not binge-worthy? I can't. I still binge it. I still keep going back to Succession and rewatching it over and over again. I don't know why that's not on the list. On the list though that I would recommend, Lucifer is definitely interesting. I've watched Lucifer. I binge watched it with Rachel. Yeah, she got me into it. Definitely a very cool show. Mandalorian, Star Wars, gotta go. Yeah, I would recommend that. Better Call Saul is one of those things I've said. It's in some ways Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad. I will actually defend that. And then of course the one that's highlighted, Peaky Blinders. I love Peaky Blinders.
You do love Peaky Blinders.
And that's another thing too. It's every season's only 6 episodes, so you can knock that out relatively fast.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing I don't know about this list is like there needs to be criteria as to what binge-worthy meant.
It's the thing that frustrates me because you're right. There's things like Sherlock with like 2-hour episodes.
I like Sherlock. Sherlock should not be on this list.
So it goes from like 2-hour episodes to half-hour comedies. Then you have limited series like Band of Brothers. Then you also have shows like Peaky Blinders, which is like 4 or 5 seasons, but only like 6 episodes a season.
But see, to me, that makes it easy to binge watch.
Exactly.
Because you're only going to put in 5 hours a season, 6 hours a season.
Exactly.
You could knock out Peaky Blinders relatively quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of some of these other shows.
To answer the other question that I posed, Peaky Blinders is the one of the shows that I need to hold myself to binge watch at some point. But the other one is The Wire, coming in at 30. I guess it was around the same time as The Sopranos. I've heard it's an amazing show. Mm-hmm. I've just never had a chance to sit down and watch it. It's one of the ones that I want to go check out is The Wire. In terms of shows that I think are super binge-worthy, I have to call out once again another of my favorite half-hour comedies, Parks and Rec, at 15.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec at 15.
Parks and Rec.
Just
see another one that should be bumped up.
I think that should be bumped up.
Binge.
Yeah, I think that should be top 10. Honestly, just because I want to trash on something here. Another show that I think shouldn't be on the list is like House, serialized shows where each episode is its own contained storyline. I understand, like it's binge-worthy in the sense that you can watch episode after episode after episode, but I don't think doing that with a show like House like increases your enjoyment of the show because each episode is self-contained. Like there's no like storylines that kind of
there's no overarch.
Yeah, like there is a little bit, but like Law and Order SVU has like overarching storylines but super loose, you know? I think that when we talk about like what's the best binge-worthy shows are shows that lend itself to watching it quickly because it somehow enhances your enjoyment or understanding or engagement with the show. I don't think a serialized show like House really emphasizes that.
Yeah, I would say Ranker, there needs to be better
criteria
for binge worthy. Because I feel like there's, Peaky Blinders should be higher up because you couldn't really knock that out in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah.
So there should be some strategy like that to making a binge-worthy list, in my opinion.
I agree. But some food for thought. Go check it out, everyone. That's Ranker.com had a list of the best binge-worthy shows of all time. There's 30 shows, the top 30 shows on the list, but I'm sure there's tons more out there worthy of the title.
Yeah, I agree. But with that, it's time to leave the entertainment world and get to the third and final portion of our show. Folks, it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing.
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada basata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
I would scream odd news here, but literally we just checked our emails during the sounder, and we both got the notification from Amazon Prime that they're going to charge.
You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, literally right now we just got the email notification.
I love in the email how it's like Amazon Prime is a very compelling offer for users. As they're trying to like sell it, like no, keep paying us. It's really good. We promise.
Yeah, please give us more money. Thank you very much. So
anyway,
no.
Talk about odd news.
Yeah, now it's officially time for odd news.
That's right. It is time for odd news. Amazon, always part of it, of course. They're very odd. But here in the non-fortune cookie odd news, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing these stories for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to? And can we get there in 2 days with free delivery?
Yeah, right. We need to start using those Prime advantages.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to try and get 2 stories in. I think we
Let's
can
do it. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And this first story, of course, is Florida.
Of course.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
And boy, it's Christmas, right? We're coming out of Christmas.
Christmas in Florida. I can't think of anything more frightening.
Well, very good. And, well, how can we not have a Christmas themed story?
Absolutely.
We're coming out of the holidays. Well, guess what?
Oh, no.
St. Petersburg cops say that a 20-year-old woman got mad and repeatedly beat her boyfriend with a Christmas tree during a pre-dawn skirmish on Christmas Eve.
She's not a Christian!
Yeah.
They're so big.
Boy, she grabbed it.
There's a Christmas tree in the background here. This is like a 6-footer. How do you... Maybe it was a small one. Does it say how big it was? Because there's like the little tabletop ones, but then there's the big ones. Was it live? Was it fake? Was it big? Was it small?
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's a real Christmas. It's a Christmas tree. We're not talking about a little one. We're talking about a Christmas tree.
Oh, a full Christmas tree.
Yeah, this is a full Christmas tree.
What does she joust him with it?
Yeah,
I was just trying because like. Okay, that's a deep cut. People don't realize that is a horse in that clip. That is a horse.
Yeah, getting ready to charge.
That's what it does before the joust. But I'm trying to think of the best way to hold a Christmas tree to hit somebody with it.
Yeah, I guess you just got to grab the middle.
Because everybody's like, oh, just swing it like a bat. But they're weird. They're inversely shaped from how a bat is shaped.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I'm going to tell you what happened, and you're gonna sympathize.
No.
Because
okay. All right.
The 20-year-old Miracle Riviera. That's
her name is Miracle.
Her name is Miracle.
Sounds like a stripper name.
Well, I mean, She's stripping the tree apart.
I guess.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
I apologize to anybody who has that name.
Well, Miracle Riviera apparently found evidence of the boyfriend cheating on her.
Damn.
Gonna f***ing kill you, motherfucker, old style.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good. You deserve a Christmas tree.
Yeah, you know, we usually get stupid reasons for people to get angry.
Right. Like he ate the last chicken nugget, or he snores too loud.
Yeah,
or,
this, I can understand going from 0 to Alex Jones. Yeah.
So what I want to know is, how did she find out that she went from 0 to Christmas tree? Because Christmas tree is pretty far up the gauge.
So we don't know unfortunately, the cops don't have what the evidence was. But Miracle found some evidence of the boyfriend not being faithful to her.
Oh, boy.
She confronted him in their bedroom at 3:40 a.m. on Christmas Eve. What a time.
Wow.
Yeah, what a time to bring this up.
Yeah, wait, what were you doing earlier in the day that you couldn't get to it then?
Well, maybe she was a detective and she had to get all the evidence straight. You know.
Okay, that makes sense. She has to get everything in, make sure all the ducks are in a row. That's the saying.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right, Mike. Yes.
I don't know a lot of duck sayings. Okay.
So she confronted him at 3:40 a.m. on Christmas Eve with the evidence.
Okay.
The man, I guess he knew he was caught because
oh no, the jig is up.
Instead of answering, he just walked into the living room. So just turn your back. Yeah, you're.
She's like, you cheated. He's like, okay. And just left?
Well, she probably presented the whole list.
Oh, so she's got the PowerPoint out.
Yeah, she's got the bulletin board out.
Exhibit A.
Yeah.
Through
at 3:40 a.m.
At 3:40 a.m.
Wake up, mother effer.
That's why it was 3:40. She pulled an all-nighter to pull together a nice little PowerPoint with animations and sound effects and everything.
Wake up, MFer. We got some things to discuss.
We got some evidence to talk about.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I am too tired for this, and he walks out.
'Cause you done goofed.
Wow, wrong response.
Yeah, she had everything worked out.
And I know who it's coming from because I backtraced it.
Yes, she backtraced all the evidence.
She did.
Yep. All right, so that's when the boyfriend just decided to ignore it and walk into the living room, and I think that's when this goes from 0 to Alex Jones.
Yeah,
because that's
just
when
walking away. That's
that's when she decided to go in the corner of the room, pick up the Christmas tree, and strike the boyfriend repeatedly with the object.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Not good.
Apparently this happened multiple times, and cops were called to the scene. The victim had numerous scratches all over his upper body and arms.
Ow.
Yeah, those things are scratchy if you get attacked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, repeatedly.
Does it say whether it was a like a real tree or a fake tree?
It doesn't say, but it's a legit tree you're hanging up in the living room.
Big tree.
Yes.
I'm trying to decide if it's better to get hit with a real tree or a fake one.
I think a fake one would be better. I think a fake one would collapse more. A real tree would really have some wood behind it.
Yeah, you're in danger of actual splinters and bruising and scratching. A fake tree, depending on what it's made out of, I feel like it's more pliable.
Oh, now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
I think if I have to get hit with a tree, I'd rather be a fake one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Did
it have ornaments and lights on it?
Oh yeah. It
was fully loaded. Oh man.
Yeah, this is
it was like grabbing this one in the video.
Yeah, we are talking about a full-blown living room tree. Yes.
That would hurt like hell.
Yeah. And she's just pounding them.
There's some glass ornaments on there. There's some wood ornaments on there. There's some heavy guys.
Yeah. So,
metal.
Yeah, that's why he's got some scratches.
Oof.
Riviera was then arrested for domestic battery and booked into the county jail.
Well, yeah.
She was released on Christmas Day, so it's a miracle. There you go, Christmas miracle.
It's Christmas miracle for miracle.
But she has been ordered to have no contact with the victim.
Makes sense.
And she's pleading not guilty. She's going to fight this thing. Like, hey, it's his fault.
I'm always amazed when like I didn't do it, but like who else would though? You know?
I don't know. Maybe she's going to plead like insanity on like, I caught him
Insanity.
cheating.
I was sleep deprived. It was Christmas.
She has the PowerPoint. She can just bring the PowerPoint to her hearing.
Your Honor. And she could do her whole case by herself.
Yeah. My boyfriend is a douchebag. And
Right.
I got upset at him. Take that.
Click next slide.
And I know who it's coming from because I backtraced it.
See, I did all the research. I backtraced it.
I hope she went through the effort of making nice animations on the PowerPoint. Nice transitions.
Yeah. So there you go. A Christmas
Wow.
story for our...
It's not as fun as the 24-hour Christmas story.
No, but it's
Not
the
as-
odd news.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not as fun for her. Fun for us.
But you know what? I do have one more Florida story.
Okay.
Why
Two
not?
Florida stories.
Yeah, let's end it on another Florida story before we end the year.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
It's a good question.
Yep, that's right. Well, this one is just an interesting story, and we have a photo of a body cam still to
Okay.
prove that this happened.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the case of 39-year-old Stacy Usher.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought you were going to say something. I don't know why.
Stacey Usher. That's
Yeah.
a pretty normal sounding name, right?
Yep.
Or should it be? Should I think it's weird? I'm concerned.
Well, we're gonna see her wonderful tale here.
now. Okay.
So first off, she was arrested last year after she sold drugs to a police informant in Citrus County, Florida.
Smart.
So yeah, right off the bat, she's not doing too good.
You want to cook crystal meth?
I'm the cook.
Maybe she wanted to binge Breaking Bad. That could have been something.
Maybe she did, and she
Yeah.
was inspired.
Right? Yeah, maybe. I could do this.
See, sometimes binging shows is dangerous. I could do this.
This elementary teacher or high school teacher did it. I could do it.
I could do that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too hard.
That's easy.
Yeah. So because of that, she had to go to court, and she pleaded no contest to a pair of felony counts.
Okay.
She was initially sentenced to 24 months of probation. It also included random drug testing and prohibition against consuming alcohol. But then she was found in late October to be violating the terms by again selling drugs.
You want to cook crystal meth?
I'm the cook.
So
stop selling drugs.
What?
Just stop.
Then she watched Better Call Saul.
Oh yeah, that would do it. That would do it.
Look, I'm just 0 for 1. I could try again.
Then she watches the made-for-TV movie El Camino.
Yeah.
She does it again.
She could do it. Yeah, I could do this. I'm good. I'm still good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. So now she's really in trouble because now she's a repeat offender. She said that her life would be in danger if she was sent to prison because she once claimed that she was a primary witness against a serious drug dealer who received a 20-year sentence.
What?
So she claims that her life is in danger.
Okay. So like she's safer outside than inside because she helped put away
Yes.
a drug kingpin. If this drug kingpin was dangerous, don't you think that she'd be in danger on the outside as well?
I guess it's one of those Goodfellas situations where if he goes into jail, remember at the end of the movie, Henry Hill's like, if I go to jail, I'm dead man because they're gonna kill me easier in prison than outside.
I guess so.
So she's trying to fall back on that. I guess at that point they gave her another bail to come out, but she was supposed to come back and face her charges. That's when she skipped and did not show up to the court appearance and became a fugitive of the law.
Okay.
She probably saw The Fugitive. Then all right.
Probably. Her entire criminal life is based on movies.
Tommy Lee Jones is like 80 years old now. He's not going to chase me. There's no way he's going to keep up with me.
I can do that every couple of months. Just watches a TV show or a movie. I could do that.
Yeah. She literally jumped from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Goodfellas. That's where she got the excuse. And then to the fugitive. Oh, I could go out on the lam. I could handle this.
Awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, I can handle this. Well, cops finally caught up with her. They got a lead that she was seen around at the Bella Oasis Hotel, which advertises itself as the best hotel in Homosassa Springs, Florida.
What was that? Homosassa?
Homosassa Springs, Florida. That's where we're at.
That's
apparently.
not a name.
Yes, it is. That's literally what I have for you, Mike.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Yeah, that's the name of the town.
Homosassa? Yeah, that's weird.
Yep, the Bella Oasis Hotel is where she was seen at.
The Bella Oasis Hotel. I gotta find this.
Yep. Well, the police raided the hotel and tried to find her. They couldn't find her at first, but that's when they were doing strip searches of the furniture, and they found Usher buried within a couch, hiding from the police.
Run!
I'm in the dark here.
Run while there's still time.
Yes. In the couch. And guess what?
What?
It was all captured on body cam footage.
Okay.
So I have the still for you. She literally buried herself in the couch. If you got the video feed, she look her bottom. The bottom half of her is literally in the couch.
Wow.
She did a good job of like falling completely into the couch.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Where? I don't understand. Where is she?
Where is she? She's right there. She's in the middle of it.
No, I mean, like, how did she get in there?
And she jumped right in. I don't know what you. She's,
okay. I don't know.
She's hiding from cops.
That's impressive. They should let her go.
Yeah, for being that sneaky and hide and go seek. Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm on drugs again.
She really thought this through.
Yeah.
She spent some time thinking about this.
Yeah. Right. I'm actually quite impressive. Half of her body is in that couch.
Yeah.
Only her upper torso can be seen.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how is she, like, yeah. I don't know. It's curious.
I'm not mad. I'm actually quite impressed.
No, really, I am.
After that. She had to be, quote, extracted from the furniture, according to the police report. So, took some time to get her out of there. But she was then committed to the Florida Department of Corrections, and her probation was immediately revoked, and she will be sentenced to 2 years in state prison. So, but
that because she made her entire life trying to mimic TV shows and movies.
Yep, but what a still. I just love that still. That's a really good.
Yeah.
She really did try her best to try and get away from the cops.
She really did.
Yeah,
she's in there.
You can't see her legs.
No.
You only see her upper torso. That's it.
No, she's in there.
Yeah. She had to
That's not something. See, here's the thing. That's not a quick hiding spot. Like, a quick hiding spot is like in the closet or behind the curtains or like underneath something. But she's like inside furniture.
Yes.
You thought that through because that's not quick and easy.
She had to be extracted.
Yeah.
That's what it said in the police report.
When you have to be extracted from something, that requires effort.
Yes.
You know?
So there you go. That's what I have for you this week in the Non-Fortune Cookie Odd News. And actually, that's what I have for you for the end of the year. That's it. That's the last odd news story.
Hidden inside a couch.
What a still. That was a great still to have.
That's impressive.
Great visual material for the video podcast. But there you go, folks. The last odd news story of the year and the last podcast of 2023 for us from the Crispy Noodle. Thank you guys for supporting us all year. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the social media, hubbabaloo. But most importantly, make sure you follow us in one of two ways to get the episodes every week. The first way is on YouTube. Just go to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and you'll get the podcast sent to you every week from there. Or the main way on Spotify. We are on Spotify. The video feed does go on Spotify, but also you can put Spotify in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast and take us on the go with you with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So those are the main ways to listen to the Crispy Noodle podcast as we go into 2024.
Yep, so many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle podcast. But if you need to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, and odd news stories, you can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us there and send us stories. Odd news stories go to me. Anything else, you can send to either one of us. And we'll give you a sausage shout out if we use it on an episode of the podcast. But just want to say thank you for supporting us throughout this crazy year. A lot of crazy stories that we've covered. It's been a hell of a year. It's been a great run, but we're looking forward to 2024 and providing more crazy news and sports, entertainment, and odd news in the new year. So,
yeah, hopefully everybody will be there with us to continue this wild and crazy journey.
That's right. But that'll do it for this year. This has been the Crispy Noodle podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next year.
See you guys next year.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night and Happy New Year.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.